Hello, fictional. Welcome to the Fiction Series X. Today we are gonna see, what if Issei was left alone after Trihexa's rampage? Part 2. If you end up liking this video, please consider subscribe, so without further ado, let's get into the video. With Issei. He is running at a moderate speed. He had to be late to the fight to make sure Vali and Azazel were in place to get the crow. By the time he got there, Sona already placed the shield around the school. Issei, make sure everyone comes back alive. Sona said. Issei runs to join the battle, saying to her. Don't worry. No one is allowed to die tonight. Issei said. At the time Issei rejoined the battle, Kiba's friends were surrounding him. Why did I live? There were kids who had bigger dreams than I did, so why? Someone better than me should have made it out of that nightmare. Kiba said. Kiba looked around him and saw the souls of the children of the project. The littlest one grabbed Kiba's shirt and showed him a smile. They then started to circle around Kiba, no longer holding a human form. It's okay. Let's all gather together. Take us in. It is time. You don't have to be scared, even if there is no god, our hearts will be forever one, came the voices around Kiba. Kiba accepted them and making all of the devils smile. Seems like I came at a good time. Looks like Kiba has finally got his balance breaker. Issei said from behind Riaz and Akeno, scaring them both. Issei, when did you get here? Riaz asked. Right now, actually I had to make sure my plan is in step before I got here. Issei said, looking at Kiba, who was talking to Valber. Fried, come here. Valber called, summoning Fried. You should have died with the rest of the subjects. Kiba, don't let your friend's house go to waste. Issei said. Gross. Another moving scene from the Gag Me Gremory. Now my skin is starting to crawl. I can't take it. I need to kill you, and that should make me feel much better. Fried said, energizing his sword. Time for a new sword. I will create a sword for Riaz and all of my friends. Sword birth go. Kiba said, pointing his sword up in the air as holy and demonic powers circle around it. This is my sword of betrayer fused with devil and holy powers. Just try to stop it. Holy and devil together? Riaz asked. Yep, Kiba had peeked, making this his balance breaker. Issei said as Kiba and Zenobia head to Fried. Talk to me, Knight of Gremory, are we still allied? Zenobia asked, getting a yes from Kiba. She then stabbed destruction into the ground. O Peter, O Philippus, O Dionysius, and the Blessed Virgin Mary. I ask you to hear my prayers. Zenobia said as a blade started coming out of a magic circle. In the name of the saint living in blade. I hereby set you free, Durandal. The sword on par with Excalibur. Said to cut everything in this world. Akeno said timidly. That is impossible, my research didn't go into users of that blade. Valber said. Well, unlike those two, I am all natural. Zenobia said with a winning smile. This kiddo cuts everything he touches, but he doesn't always listen to me. So we keep him in a different dimension. Zenobia explained. I don't believe you. Fried said, running at her blindly. Fried was attacking with so much malicious intent that even though his speed was fast and his blade was invisible, he was easy to follow. All you have there is a broken holy sword. It is no match for my Durandal. Zenobia said, parrying the attacks. Kiss my ass. Fried said, jumping to dodge her attack. I don't like you. Well, the feeling is mutual. Kiba said, attacking Fried. After a few swipes, Kiba broke the Excalibur and hit Fried hard enough to knock him out. Yes. Did you see how our powers overcame it? Kiba said to his friends. How is this possible unless both the Devil King and God both are dead? Valber said before getting a light spear into his chest, consuming him. Well, that was easy. I guess the secret is out, the God of the Bible is dead. So how does it feel, swordswoman, to know your master isn't here anymore? Kakabiel said, making Zenobia fall. Issei stepped up to fight. Looks like you said something you shouldn't have. Issei said, making everyone look at him. Issei, did you know? Riaz said as Issei didn't respond. I have the order from Azazel to ask you to stand down or I will make you. Issei said with full confidence, pulling out the scroll that he had Azazel sign. Bring it on, little devil. Kakabiel said. You shouldn't have said that. Issei said, putting his hand in the air. Oh, my sword from the future, come to the past, for it is time to make things last. We will be just, pride, and true. But now it is time to say hello to this world, so come through. Come, my blade. Neo Durandal. Issei said, pulling out the Durandal that was infused with all of the pieces of Excalibur. It is time for an illusion, Issei said, making clones of himself. Let my blade go invisible and fast. Issei said, showing of the traits that were added to Durandal. Issei now was circling Kakabiel in the air, flying with his dragon wings, since that is what he is used to while his clone surrounded Kakabiel. He preferred scales over feathers because it was more durable, plus he liked the red coloring over the black or gold choices he had. I have had enough of this. Kakabiel said, making several light spears surround him. Die. He said, chucking the spears at Issei, but it hit the clones. Issei went on the attack, slashing at every part of Kakabiel and breaking his wings, causing him to fall. Go destruction beam. Issei said, calling on Excalibur destruction from the ground to hit Kakabiel and send the signal to volley. A man in white armor came in less than 3 seconds. I will take this one off your hands and I have a few questions for that priest. The man said. As he passed Issei, Drake spoke up. Yo Albion. How are you? I am well. Why are you asking, rival? Well, I was thinking this might be the time we get along. The previous hosts have already left the sacred gear. What do you say? Put aside our differences and come together so our hosts don't get killed. Because I don't know about you, but I honestly like my host. That and explaining everything to a new host is getting stale. Oh, thanks, Drake. That is the nicest thing you have said to me. Issei thought. I will consider it. Considering how strong your current host is, just from his big jump and strength, that might be the cause. Anyways, let's go. Volley. Volley was quite stunned when he felt a bit of Issei's current power level. He came by to check out his rival and found him to be really weak. Maybe I can unlock a new power too. Volley thought as he left with the 2 prisoners in his arms. Issei quickly put away Neo Durandal and just praying that no one would ask. Luckily they didn't. They were still stunned at the fact that God was dead, well, except for Asia, who had her memories of her future self. Hello, is anyone there? Issei said, waving his hand in front of Riaz. Oh, Issei, where is Kakabiel and Freed? Riaz said, only just noticing the absence of 2 people. Oh, them? I asked Azazel to send someone to fetch them to put them under arrest. Anyways, we won. Issei said, trying to make everyone into a good mood. It worked. Well, I don't know how you did it, Issei, but it is good to see you did it. Also, Kiba, you managed to achieve balance breaker. Riaz said. I betrayed the club members and most importantly I betrayed the person who saved me a long time ago. I can't make up for what I have done. Kiba said. You came back and that is all that really matters. Next time don't let everyone's feelings go to waste. Riaz said. President, I make my vow to you once more. I, Kiba Udo, promise to protect you and your companions as a knight in the House of Gremory for the rest of my life. Kiba said as Riaz walked to him. She put his head into her bosom. Thank you and welcome home. Riaz said. Issei decided he wouldn't get jealous of where Kiba was. It's time to receive your punishment, 1000 spankings. Riaz said with a smile on her face. What? Issei, can you help me? Kiba begged. No can do, pretty boy, I have to go talk to Raynor to let her know it is safe. Issei said, walking over to Zenobia as everyone else was watching Kiba get spanked. Yo Zenobia. What's up? Issei asked. How long did you know? Zenobia asked. I know how I can make things easier. Comes it free of charge with some minor pain. Take this ring and hold my hands, Issei said, offering her a ring that was blue labeled Zenobia. Up for the challenge, wielder of Durandal? Issei said, intimidating her while putting out his hands. She took the ring and put it on her left ring finger and took both of his hands and they made an oval with their arms. Ready? Soul fusion. Issei said and a bang of light struck them. Issei, is that you? Zenobia asked with tears in her eyes. Yes, but we just defeated Kakabiel. You probably don't remember, but you all were killed and I went back in time to save Raynor to stop Trihexa early. Luckily my body, Ascalon, and your old Neo Durandal came too with Drag since I put them in the boosted gear. Do everything you did in the past till the 3 factions get together and have peace. You have to become a devil again and I want to tell you that I am sorry that you have to go through that pain again. Issei said. Zenobia just hugged him tightly for a little bit. Issei, caught off guard, just patted her head. I am glad to have my future memories. Can I have my Neo Durandal back? Zenobia asked. No, I am keeping it so you can get your own. Issei said, childishly sticking out his tongue out at her. Well, Issei, who else remembers? Zenobia asked. Asia remembers everything. I hinted it to Arena. The others in the peerage excluding Kiba know I am from the future. Then there is Raynor and I suspect Azazel knows, but I have to go to him now to set up the 3 factions meeting, so see you. Issei said, walking away to the nearby hotel. Wait, Issei, one last thing. Here. Zenobia said, planting a kiss on Issei's lips. Got that out of the way, now go, Issei. Zenobia said to the stunned Issei. Zenobia giggled lightly. Thanks, but Asia still had my first Zenobia. Issei said, leaving her behind. Well, shoot, that didn't work well, I better become a devil. Zenobia said, picking up the shattered pieces of Excalibur. Back with Issei. Issei just picked up Raynor and didn't tell them where they were heading. They went to an apartment complex. Issei knocked on the door. Come in. A voice said. Issei opened the door to see a surprisingly full-dressed Azazel. He first looked at Issei, but the second he looked at Raynor he rushed up to her and swung her around. Raynor, it is you. I can't believe you are alive. What do you mean? Raynor asked. I got a report saying you were killed. Azazel said. And she almost was. I decided to spare her this time. Issei said. What do you mean? Azazel asked, taking a drink of his liquor. I don't see the harm in telling you. I come from the future. Trust me, it wasn't pretty. Trihexa was released, Issei said, making Azazel spray in Issei's Face. Can we come in so I can wash my face? Issei asked. Azazel let them in, and Issei washed his face, then sat on the couch next to Rainer. How do you know that name? Azazel asked. I come from the future. I came back for a reason. A destroyed world was our future. Issei said. Wait, you said was? Azazel asked. I changed the future a bit, saving Rainer. In my timeline she was killed for killing me and an innocent nun. I hid Rainer this week because I knew Kakabiel's movements. I need you to call Srampage and Michael to apologize for Kakabiel's actions. That is just a front to call for peace. As you once said to me, wouldn't peace be nice? I don't have to worry about every single thing and can get back to my research. And then you went on about boobs and the fact that nipples are similar to doorbells. Which you were right about. Issei said. Azazel simply blushed at his antics being said in front of his daughter. That does sound like something I would say, and a new devil knowing the name Trihexa is very unbelievable. At the summit I want more details. Alright. Azazel asked. Yes, Azazel. Issei then took Rainer to his house where she slept in Asia's room while Asia and Riaz slept with Issei. The weekend flew by for Issei. He got to see Riaz, Akeno and Rainer all in selfie swimsuits. They also cleaned the pool and Issei almost was raped by Zenobia again. Zenobia joined them on Friday and told them how she had been kicked out for knowing the truth. She played her part just like Issei asked her to, and he was starting to regret it because she was more forward now than before. Then came Parents' Day. Basically filler episode 6 to 7 happened here with Rainer here. I just let them fly by for the next point, just kidding. Parents' Day is here and Ria's brother stayed the night again. Srampage didn't mind that Rainer was there even though she was a fallen. Issei was walking to school when he noticed Vali was at the gate. Hello White Dragon Emperor. I assume you know me, but I am Issei Hiroto, the current Sakura. It's nice to meet you Vali Lucifer. Issei said making his name a whisper. Vali didn't expect Issei to know his family line. Issei noticed his shock. I heard that your goal is to beat your grandfather, is it not? That is why you seek strength. Issei asked. Vali flinched again. How do you know that? Vali said. It is normal to look into your enemy's foes to seek assistance, and you happen to be one of them. Go, someone will make you an offer to help you with your boring world so you can get stronger, so go. Issei said, telling Vali to take off his offer to join the Cows Brigade. Bring this group of people with you, tell Kuroka she can tell her sister the truth. Issei said, handing him a list of everyone on the Vali team. Issei turned around to see his friends behind him. Yo everyone. See you later. Issei said, walking off to class without looking back. Is it just me or is Issei still not showing off his true strength? Riaz asked everyone. It seems like he can be himself, not his past self, so to speak. It is like when he went into that church all perverted and he came out a calmer man. Akeno said. I agree with Akeno. Issei was probably tense from trying to keep major events to happen the same way. Like instead of just attacking Kakabiel from out front, he waited till Kakabiel said something major, which was about his death. Asia said. Wait, Issei changed because he is from the future? He didn't tell me. Kiba said. Kiba, trust me when I say that you don't want to know yet. Asia said, remembering that she was the one who was watching them that day in the nurse's office. If you say so, Asia. Kiba said, confused. Issei walked into class with two fists coming right at him from Masuda and Motohama. Issei, you bastard. They said. Issei took the hit and acted like it hurt. We know what you did, punk, Mitsuda said angrily. Like how you got that Zenobia chick into your club. Motohama followed up. She is the friend of my childhood friend. She asked me to look after Zenobia and so I did. Issei said, knowing what Zenobia was going to do. Issei, I want to apologize for what I said to you. Zenobia started. It's fine. We can do it some other time, you just have to wait. Issei said, throwing Zenobia for a loop. Really? Zenobia said excitedly. Yes. I promise to help you achieve your goal. Issei said. Oh, what's her goal? Mitsuda asked. To learn how to be a good mother via cooking. Zenobia sucks at cooking, so I help her. Right. Issei said, making it clear to her that she will follow his story. Yes. Zenobia said, fearing what would happen if she made it to a joke. Issei waked off to meet with the presidents and their vice presidents. Oh, Issei, it is nice to see you. Riaz said. Yo ladies. What's up? Issei asked. I hear that you met the White Dragon. Sona asked. Yes, I told him that we had a common goal, so you don't have to worry about me destroying the school. Especially considering your sister is probably here, so you have enough as it is. Issei said, triggering a flag inside of Sona. I never mentioned my sister to anyone. How do you know? Sona asked coldly, thinking Issei is a fake. Well, I come from the future, if that helps. I figured I should warn you to go to the gym before she starts a photoshoot there in her magic girl cosplay outfit. The one she says is her work uniform. Issei said, showing how much he knows about the future. Sona got wide-eyed and ran in the direction of the gym, and her queen followed behind her. She returned with her sister in tow. Issei, I want an explanation now on how you knew that. Sona demanded. How about I save it for the upcoming summit? After all, I did ask Azazel to ask for it. Let's just say that the future was a bleak one. Issei said before walking off. On your desk there is a block of clay. Your assignment is to create something that inspires you. It can be anything you want as long as it is original. We use the same words, but it's your personal thought. The teacher said, we are so proud of you, Asia. Issei's mom said. Look at the camera. Issei's dad said. Asia just waved back, smiling brightly. Issei looks at the block and considers what to make. He could make another Rias. Or he could make an Akeno statue. Then an idea popped into Issei's head. He used some of his aura and without anyone paying attention to him as he made more clay to make something bigger. Oh wow, Issei, how did you make this? The teacher asked Issei. Issei opened his eyes to see his sculpture has become. It was a sculpture that had the current members of the Occult Research Club made very accurately. Only one problem. Kiba is a girl in the sculpture. Luckily no one noticed or said anything about it. They started selling it off and Issei just took it to give to Rias. Issei meet up with Rias in the hallway. Hey Rias, I got something for you. Issei said, giving the statue to her. Wow, it is nicely made. Is this what Kiba would look like as a girl, Issei? Rias asked, teasing her servant. Issei decided it was time. Rias, take this ring I made you and then hold my hands. Issei said, handing her a ring with a crimson jewel with the label Rias. Okay then. Rias said, just doing what Issei said. Warning, this will hurt a bit. Soul fusion. Issei said as a glow engulfed the two of them. Rias opened her eyes. Issei. She said, jumping. Issei knocking Issei on the ground. I am glad you remember. I don't think I could deal with another jealous Rias again. Issei said to Rias, who was giggling in his chest. Issei, what happened? Last thing I remember was being in vampire territory and we were middle of fighting Grendel. Rias asked. Rias, calm down. After that fight I went back in time and changed it. I gave your past self your memories we shared and that's what happened. Issei said. Wow, I wondered why things seemed different. What did you change? I will tell you. Are the summit okay? I should go see Akeno so I can get Ascalon. Issei said, walking off. I won't let anyone die again. Issei said under his breath. But Issei. Hey Dreg. When do you think he will wake up? I mean, it's been a while. Issei asked. Albion should be waking up soon, I hope. He didn't wake up since Bali transferred him to us. Dreg said back. Flashback. Bali was bleeding out, his clothes were all torn up. Issei ran to his rival. Bali. Hang in there. Issei said, trying to close his wounds. Issei, I can't make it for much longer, but here I want to give you something. Vali said, getting Issei to stop trying to heal him, crying because he was losing his friend. Sacred transfer. Vali said, puking some blood and holding Issei's arm as he sent Albion to Issei. Goodbye and make the future a good one. Vali said with a smile on his face as he closed his eyes. Why? Issei said, crying as he lost his last friend. Issei, let's go. We will see him again. Let's go train. Dreg said through the boosted gear. Yes Dreg, let's do it. Issei said, smiling even though the tears were still coming. Flashback end. I wish he would. Dreg said, being cut off by someone. Where am I? Said a familiar voice belonging to a certain white dragon. Albion. It's about time you woke up, it's been like 8 months since Bali transferred you to me. Issei said to his two partners. Well, seeing as you are my new user Issei, I will teach you how to use my power and maybe by the time the 3 great factions get together. Albion said. That sounds great, but if you don't mind, I have a cosplay site to see. Issei said out loud, heading straight for the gym. Issei walked into the gym to see a girl with dark hair and twin tails while wearing a pink magical girl costume. To be specific, it is a magical girl Milky Spiral Alterative 7 cosplay, but I don't have anyone to show off to, so I will keep it to myself. Issei thought to himself. Issei approached the stage. Lady Seraphil, your sister is looking for you. Issei said, walking up to the stage to stand next to the Leviathan. She stopped posing for the cameras and everyone started to yell at Issei. Everyone started to leave. Issei was leading Sarah to the student council office. So who are you? Sarah asked. I am sorry Lady Seraphil. I was so immense into your beauty and getting you to your sister that I forgot to introduce myself to you. I am Issei Haidu, this generation's Red Dragon Emperor. I am Rias Gremory's pawn and I am a strong force on my own. Issei said, bowing as he introduced himself to a blushing Seraphil. They arrived to the student council office. Issei knocked on the door. Sona came out with an annoyed face. What do you want? She said, not noticing her sister. Seraphil jumped from behind Issei and hugged Sona too tightly. Oh Sona. I've missed you. What's the matter? You look sad. Aren't you happy to see me? You should run into my arms and I'll say that I missed you too. Then I give you a big kiss and you kiss me back. Then that leads to girl on girl action and wouldn't that be hot? Seraphil said, getting into Sona's face. Now Lady Seraphil, you should back off your sister for a second. Issei said. Reluctantly Seraphil let go of Sona. Thanks Issei. Sona said. No problem Sona, now if you don't mind I have to return to Ria's. Issei said, leaving the sisters alone. So Sona, what do you think about Issei over there? Seraphil asked her sister, catching Sona off again. I don't know yet, what about you sis? Sona asked. I think I found a strong enough guy to have our three-way with. Seraphil said, making Sona blush. With Issei meet up with Ria's, who was with her brother and dad with Issei's parents. It's nice to meet the ones who are taking care of my daughter. Raiden said. Why don't we go back to the house and sit? Issei's dad said. That sounds like a great idea. Raiden said. Great. Then it's settled. Should we stop by the store to buy some whiskey? Issei's dad said, leaving the kids behind. He doesn't know who he's talking to. Issei said. They went home and were treated to in sight. All three males were drinking away. Cheers to our friendship. Issei's dad said, and all three of them drank another round. They started to watch the videos again, trying to embarrass the kids, except it didn't work because they all had experienced it before due to their future souls are fused with their current ones. Ria's, Issei and Asia all went up to his room to get ready for bed. Hey sis, since you have seemed to control your peerage better, I think it's time to unleash your bishop. Srampage said. If you the Mayu are suggesting that I release him, I will do so. Ria said to her brother. Srampage smiled as he left with his drunk father for the night to return home. Later on, Issei fell asleep with Asia sleeping on his left side while Ria's was on his right. It was a tight fit for them because they used to do this after they got the house upgraded. While the girls were asleep, Issei was actually training inside his head with Albion. Issei went to the area where he could meet with the two dragons. I see you have grown stronger since I saw you with Vali. Albion said after training Issei how to absorb power. Albion's sacred gear in Issei came in the form of a gauntlet on his other arm. That made sense because the Red Dragon Emperor is sent to have endless power container. Meaning that he could divide without having to let any of the power out. Well, I spent 6 months training, plus the point that was before I trained. I am stronger than my old form. Issei said, explaining to Albion his strength, while Drake got some well-deserved break. It looks like Drake is very tired from this all. Albion said. He had to be up all the time to help me deal with all of the bad memories and keep them at bay. He really helped me out this time. So this time I will not be the Oppi dragon. Since you are awake, I was thinking of getting known as the Crimson White Heavenly King. Since I came use both heavenly dragons, it seemed like an idea I came up with. Issei said, looking at the tall white dragon. It sounds nice, although being just a simple king is a downgrade from being a heavenly dragon to a dragon king, but I will take it. Albion said, pausing. I think I will like it. He said, smiling. Alright. Issei said, doing a celebratory dance, getting Albion to laugh at him. I can't wait to see Vali's face when he finds out his rival has his dragon. Albion said. But now it's time to train. He said, blowing out a breath of white flames. The next morning, Issei woke up to a marvelous sight. A naked Asia and Ria's. Even though he was in his small bed, the fit and it felt natural. Come on girls, it is time to get up for school. Issei said, nudging the girls. Okay Issei, just give me a second. Ria said as her chest bounces as she arose from the bed. Let me sleep for a bit longer. Asia said, turning over to her other side, which caused her head right into the wall. Ochi. Come on you guys. It's time go to school. Issei said, getting dressed while the girls were watching. They started drooling at the sight of Issei's six-pack and his tight muscles. Issei started to flex and show off a show for the two girls. Alright, let's go down to eat breakfast. Issei said, putting on his shirt. The girls snapped out of it and went to their respective rooms. They ate breakfast and went to school. The day went normal, but Issei ate lunch alone. He ate lunch alone so he could talk to Albion to get to better know him now that he is awake. Issei and Asia went to the clubroom. Yo, it's your favorite servant. Issei said, opening the door. Issei, it is time unlock Gasper from his room. Ria said. Okay, let's go. Issei said, excited. In front of the sealed door, Issei and the peerage with Rainer was in front of a door that was magically sealed. Alright, it is time to let Gasper out. Ria said, wearing her ring that once held her soul. Ria's took off the seal. Inside came a scream. No. I don't understand what is going on. The casket said. Ria's walked into the room and walked to the casket. The seal is broken. You can come with us now. Okay. Ria's asked, lifting the coffin. No, I don't ever want to leave here. Said the one in the coffin. It was a blonde girl with short hair wearing a cow schoolgirl uniform. I won't fall for that same trick this time. Issei thought. That is a boy and you know it. Issei, I am surprised you haven't jumped at him yet, Issei. Kiba said, not knowing that Issei knew of Gasper before now. Well, I know that he is a boy judging from his name Gasper. Issei said, making a cool guy pose. This made everyone laugh at him, even Gasper. Hey Gasper. Let's go train your sacred gear. Trust me, it will be needed. Issei said, turning his voice to a more serious one. Follow me if you want to train. Issei said, leaving the room. Well, I didn't expect Issei to do that. Riaz said. His face was defiantly reminded me of when he thought about his past. Rainer said. As much as I hate to agree with you, I do agree with you. Akeno said. They all agreed too. They noticed something though. Gasper had actually left his room. When did he leave? Rainer said, completely off guard. His sacred gear slows down time. He hasn't had control over it completely yet. Riaz said. That makes sense on how he left. But how could he know to trust Issei? Rainer asked. It was his dragon aura. Kaneko said, getting everyone to look on her. It was giving off a feeling of trustworthiness. Tiba, my brother wants to see you. Akeno is my queen, will you come with? Riaz asked. Yes, Madam President. Akeno said. The rest of us will try to give Issei a hand if we can find him. Asia said. But Issei, so you want to learn how to use your sacred gear? Issei asked on the roof of the old schoolhouse. You know something, don't you? Gasper said. Your power has the potential to save this whole world. Issei said. If you let things sit without training, it will not help you, trust me. I know from my own experiences. Issei said. Bodies everywhere. Wings of each race laying on the ground. Blood everywhere. Divide Albion divided the stress in Issei's mind. Thanks, Albion. Issei thought to his awake partner. No problem. Albion said. Sorry about that. I just remembered something. You're friends with a girl named Valerie, a vampire, right? Issei said, making Gasper gasp. What do you mean? Gasper said, recovering from his shock. She has a sacred gear that someone will try to extract. You can stop them. Issei said flatly. Now let's go head to the volleyball court. Issei said. Why there? Gasper asked. Because you are going to be working on stopping the balls midair. Issei said, making his dragon wings come out. Come on. Let's go. Coming. Gasper said. One intense training session later. Very good, Gasper, you are able to stop the volleyball at a normal speed of a human. Which is really good since how you aren't used to using it yet. We will take a break for today. Issei said as Gasper laid down on the ground. Thanks, Issei. Gasper said. Issei sensed someone nearby. You can come out now. Issei said. Out of the corner of his eye, two men came out of the bushes. I really have to say you really know how to train his sacred gear, Issei. The man with the black hair with blonde bangs. I know a faster way would be for him to have some of my blood, but since this little guy doesn't like it, I am respecting his choice. Volley, have you gotten your group together? Issei asked. Yes, they will be at the meeting tomorrow. Volley said, surprising Azazel. But they will need to be there for what I have set up. Issei said, getting Azazel to look at him now. Alright, let's go, Azazel. It seems like the one you wanted to see isn't here, so let's go eat to be ready for tomorrow. Volley said, turning and leaving with Azazel. I better go too. Akeno wanted me to go up to her shrine. Issei said, walking away from Gasper, who was still in awe at Issei's strength. At the shrine. Dio Akeno. Issei said, halfway up the stairs. Akeno appeared from the side of the path. Hello, Issei. Sorry about the sudden invite, but you probably know what is going on right now. Akeno said. You got me. That is one of the things I love about you, being able to see right past me. Issei said, making Akeno blush. They walked into the shrine. This place was secured by Riaz once the last master died. Akeno said. So this is the Red Dragon Emperor? A voice said as a golden glow appeared and a man with 12 golden wing appeared. Yes, I am Michiel-sama. Issei said, smiling back at the man. Hello, Issei Haidu. I am indeed Michael, chief of the angels. Michael said. They entered the shrine. I have a gift for you. Michael said, summoning a silver sword decorated with purple jewels. This is Ascalon, the dragon slayer. Many dragons have fallen to this sword. He handed the sword to Issei when he remembered that Drake was asleep, and if he used Albion, that would ruin the surprise. I will store this in my sacred gear later. Drake is sleeping right now. Issei said, surprising Michael, but he didn't let it show. Alright. I will be leaving now. Michael said, turning around. Wait, Michael, the first have to ask for a favor after the meeting. Issei asked. Sure, I must go now. Michael said, making a golden glow as he teleported away. Issei sat down at the nearby table. Akeno came back with tea. So you came here to work on the sword? Issei asked. Yes. We had to make Ascalon so it would accept you. Akeno said, handing Issei some tea. Thank you. I do have to ask how you felt about your dad, Barakiel. Issei said, not sure how she felt about it since she had the ring to talk to her mother with her. Well, Issei, normally I have told you about my hater to my father. Akeno started. However, since I started taking to my mom again, I begun to understand why he wasn't there. It looks like you have let your heart begin to heal again. Issei said, unknowingly letting a golden glow of kindness around him. Akeno noticed this but said nothing about it. She got up behind Issei and hugged him from behind. Issei just enjoyed the feeling. Hey Issei, I don't mind being third. Akeno whispered into his ear. Akeno, you aren't third. Issei said. I love you all equally. I would do everything to protect you. Even doing the impossible by rewriting time. I can do it because I have you girls with me. So there aren't places for you girls. Akeno relaxed her hold on him. Well Akeno, I have to go now. Issei said, sensing Ria's coming. Oh, we just got started, but alright I guess. Akeno said, letting go of Issei. Thanks Akeno. Issei said, picking up Ascalon and headed down the stairs. Well, I didn't expect you to be walking down. Ria said, bumping into Issei on his way down. Well Akeno was easier this time because I had help. Issei said, still holding Ascalon. Why haven't you put it in the boosted gear, Issei? Rias asked, noticing the sword. Braig is asleep from going back in time. He has been taking care of me since we traveled back, so I let him rest for a while. Issei said. By the way, how are you using Neo Durandal? Rias asked as they walked down the stairs. Well, the sword came to my aid when I was training and it decided to have me being its wielder and I took it with me as I came back through time. Issei explained. Don't worry. I will bring Akeno with me tonight to sleep with us. Get plenty of rest. The meeting is tomorrow. Rias said. Sure thing. I will be waiting. Rainer is living with Azazel right now and they are coming together at the meeting. Issei said, reminding Rias of their new team member. Alright Issei, see you later. Ria said, heading to her next meeting as Issei left to go home. Little did she know he was going to go get one of his girls back. The next day, Issei told off Mitsuda and Madahama. They were in the classroom when Issei finally snapped. You two are not my friends. Issei yelled at them. Everyone looked as one of the perverted trio was shouting about something not perverted. Oh, chill out Issei. Mitsuda said. No. I'm sick of how you two treat me. Ever since this year started, when you two wanted to go peep, you would drag me along just to ditch me so you wouldn't have to be hurt. Issei said. Issei decided to leave the room to relieve some of his stress. He went to the roof. Hey Albion, do you think we can save the world this time? Issei thought to the awakened dragon partner. Albion thought for a second. Yes, Issei. I have faith in you. You have the support of the two heavenly dragons, Office the Ouroboros dragon and Great Red. If Trihexa is a girl, hopefully if you offer to mate with you. Albion half jokingly. That sounds like a good idea if she is up for it. I won't trust her immediately if that somehow does happen. Issei joked back. This got the two of them to laugh. Braig will be awake by the time of the fight. Albion said. Well, I think I will use you as a test. Of course we will go right into Balance Breaker and we reveal that. Issei said back. Sure thing Issei. Albion said as Issei laid his hands behind his head as he went to sleep. The destroyed world was our future 7. The 3 faction leaders were all sitting down in one of the classrooms. Rias brought Gasper with her since she knew that he would be used to incus the group here. She let it slip that he would be in the old club room since that was what was supposed to happen. So we are here to discuss the actions of Kakabiel. Srampage said. Actually no, we aren't. Issei said, surprising everyone except Azazel for Issei's boldness to outspeak against Amau. We are gathered here because I asked Azazel to have you all come so we can have peace. Vali, can you summon the group I asked you to gather? Issei asked. Vali grunted and made a white summoning circle behind him and Issei did the same in red. Out of the white circle came Kuroka, Lefray, Biku, and Arthur Pentagon. This group made everyone tense but not as tense as the people who came for Issei's circle. Out of his circle came Ravel Finex, Roswis and the All-Father himself Odin. Both of the Asgordons were wearing rings that were engraved with their name on them. Roswis jumped on Issei. Oh Issei, I missed you so much. From now on we shall live together. Ooh, I can't wait. She said, making the girls who knew who she was raise an eyebrow. Issei simply shrugged at them as if saying he will explain it later. Thank you again Issei for inviting me. Shall we pass out the gifts? Odin asked. Issei nodded and started handing out rings to every person who didn't have one and gave one to Akeno since she wasn't wearing her mom because she didn't want anyone else to know yet and that she didn't have hers yet. Alright, now that the rings are all passed out, I wish for us all to gather our hands together. Issei said. Everyone knew what Issei was doing was dangerous but trusted him anyways. Once everyone was connected, Issei let out all of his seals, unleashing 16 wings, 2 pairs of devil, dragon, angel and fallen wings. Soul fusion. And a bright light came around the room. Everyone in the room looked around at their surroundings. Issei, what happened? Srampage said as a boom came from the wall. What is the hell is that devil here? The intruder said. Issei smiled. Well, let us go outside, Leviathan. Issei shouted, throwing himself at her, sending the two of them out the wall. The girls all were concerned for Issei. Rias turned to Roswis. So what happened to her personality? Rias asked Odin. Well, when Issei came by and restored our older souls, she might have encountered a slight personality change. Odin said, scratching his head. I am taking a guess that with her older soul and younger one combined, it proved to her that he loved her and she became trashed with love for him. Auden said, giving a light giggle. Meanwhile outside with Issei and Kateria. So you wish to challenge me alone? You dare challenge a descendant of Amo? Kateria said, getting angrily. I wanted to test something that you will be the test subject for. Go balance break. Issei said without summoning his sacred gear, shocking everyone when they heard it. Vanishing dragon balance breaker. Issei donned the white and blue orbed armor with white wings, all while putting his other wings away. But you are supposed to be the red dragon emperor. What is this trickery? Kateria screamed, thinking what everyone else was thinking. Issei chuckled. That's right. So don't mind if I defeat you. Issei said, sending a punch right to her chest. Divide came from the armor. Kateria felt her power go away. Issei was surprised himself. Really? This is half of your power? Haha, you really are weak. Issei laughed as he quickly punched her a few more times, making her collapse. A laughter was heard into the background, one that scared everyone. It was the son of Lucifer. I knew Leviathan would fail, but to think that the vanishing dragon beater was unexpected. Razim said. Albion wake drag, it is a code white red. We have to test it, Issei said. Partner, that idea is insane. Albion said. Just do it. We are the only ones who can do it. I am still holder of the infinite and the dream. I will do this. Issei said. I'm up, partner. Let's do the impossible again. Drake said confidently. Of all of the dragons I am the most powerful one. Issei said, starting his chant. The lover of many and the love of few. I am the infinite and the dream. I love the infinite and make the dream come true. I become the dragon on most high with both heavenlies. I will dominate and become supreme over those below me. I will crush those in my wake. Infinite dream heavenly dragon overdrive. Infinite dream heavenly dragon overdrove. Dragon, Albion said. Issei transformed into a pink dragon, likely caused by the combination of red and white. There was a lot of power from Issei. Issei grew out his power. Haha boy, good luck, your sacred gear can do nothing against my sacred gear canceller. Raisam said. Issei kept calm. Yes, but that only applies to beings weaker to you. Issei said, grinning while creating a bar preventing the son of Lucifer to run. Lucifer starts panicing. Why can't I teleport away? I can't die here. He shouted. Issei sent a white beam as Lucifer was trying to escape. Divide boost boost boost. Issei took the power that Raisam had and boosted it up more and more. A cannon appeared from Issei's chest. Ready boys? Issei asked. Ready partner, Drag and Albion said together. Long Ina Smasher. Issei said, making the cannon fired, completely obliterating everything to the ground for a mile. Luckily only the old schoolhouse was destroyed and Issei's team was far away. Once the light died down, Issei fell out of the sky unconscious and falling. There was nothing around him to stop his fall. All of the girls who loved Issei ran to him. Saji, Vali, Biku, Michael, Arthur, Surziches, and Azazel stayed in the room, still shocked that Issei had Albion and his new dragon form. Issei. Rhea said, putting him on her lap. Can someone explain to me how I am a guy again? Kiba asked, getting the attention off all of the girls. Well, Issei-san is from the future and brought our souls back. Asia explained to everyone came over. Why is there a blank in my memory though? Michael asked. I remember Trihexa being unleashed and only dragons surviving. But I can't remember anything after that. Vali said. I can explain that. Albion appeared on Issei's back. You don't remember Issei getting me is because you gave him me as you were dying, Albion said. Drake appeared on Issei's arm. As me and Issei were near river Styx. Issei came up with the idea of picking up things where you all left off with your knowledge. While we were in God's room deciding a time to restore our save progress and insert our future cheat, so to speak, and we chose to save the fallen over there. Drake said, making everyone notice that Raynor was alive, something that was different from the time they were from. Can you guys stop staring at me? Raynor asked. Wait, why did Issei do all of this? Michael asked. You will have to wait for Issei to wake up, Drake said. Everyone wondered what the new future had when a bright light came into the area. Mate, you forgot to close the portal. The figure said. The three factions were all stunned by who just appeared. Office, the infinite dragon god, was standing before them with a bit of a physical change than before. She had a chest that rivaled Rhea's own chest and hips that rivaled Asia and a butt that rivaled Lefray. Hello again, fellow mates. Office said. Rhea's was the first to recover from the shock. Office, is that you? Rhea's asked. Office simply nodded. Yes, and Red Chan should be here soon. Office said in her monotone voice. How did you come from the future? Asia asked, feeling confident. Husband left the portal to the past open and I set it to when time had begun to change and jumped into here. Office explained. Issei begun to stir. Morning. Issei said before stretching out. He looked across the room and he saw Office and noticed that she was in her adult form and she grabbed out to hug him. Husband. Office said, happily holding Issei tightly, letting his head to the crook of her neck. He could still feel her chest and was still happy. When he started to think, another blinding beam came into the room. That was mean, Office. I ask you to wait for me. The voice said angelically and feminine. When the light stopped, a woman came out. She had red hair with blonde highlights, with a chest that looked like a Keno's, hips that looked like Ravel's, legs that looked like Roswis's, and eyes were that of Rainer. Red-chan, I just got here. Offa said. You need to introduce yourself to your fellow mates. The new girl turned to the girls with a bright smile that was similar to that Irina's. Hello, my name is Anna, but you might know me by another name. My title as the Dragon God of Dreams is pretty well known, but I also get called Great Red. Anna said, making her chest bounce as she spoke with pride. I am Anna Haidu, one of the many wives of Issei. She took a breath. The leaders fainted when they heard that Great Red and Office were both with Issei, especially with Office regaining her power back. I also gave away Neo Durandal to a different dimension. Issei said, getting everyone to yell what. Me and Durandal talked about it, and it can't stay in this dimension, and the reason I just fainted was because of the Drake Dragon meeting. I gave it to the last human in his dimension, and Durandal agreed to go with him. Issei explained. I still have both Ascalons though. Issei said, summoning the swords in a dual-bladed sword. The swords were connected by the hilts. Think the Sith in the pre-sequel or the current episode 1 of Star Wars. The one with the red and black face paint. Well, I will return to heaven to start up the Brave Saint system. Michael said. And I will go let the devils know about the peace and Lucifer's son's demise. Serziches said. And we will take Issei to a nearby hotel. All of the girls said except Office, and Anna screamed. Ah, he Issei, there was something me and Office didn't tell you when you left for heaven. Anna said, grabbing a stick from her pocket. It had 2 lines on it. We are expecting. Anna said happily as Office showed a stick with the same thing. Issei fainted. A destroyed world was our future aftermath. Author note. Before this chapter begins, I want to say thank everyone for favoriting, reviewing, and following. It means the world to me when I get an email of one of the 3. So now that is out of the way, let's get right into the chapter. After Issei recovered from the shock, the girls confronted him about Office and Great Red. For the next week, no one outside of their group saw Issei. 9 months later, they all had a child with Issei, and the house got bigger to make space for them all. Ria's son was named Ricardo. Asia's daughter was named Sarono. Kaneko's son was named Toby. Kiba decided to stay a male in this timeline, though he did wish he got in on this orgy. Ravel named her son Shiro. Rainer named her son Arizona. Akeno named her daughter Shuri. Zenovia's twin daughters was named Mary and Gabriel. Irina named her son Tauji after her dad. Roswius named her daughter Rosemary. Office named her daughter Happy for the way he cheered everyone in the room. Lastly, Great Red named her son Natsu, for it was summer when she and Issei made love in the summer sun with Office. Issei grew to an ungodly level, and after having the blessing of the biblical god, 4 original Satans and the head of the fallen, Issei had successfully united the world and with time unsealed Trihexa. 9 months later, she had a child to spoil over herself. Issei's children all grew up with love and support that they needed and were all strong enough to work alone, but also willing to work together when one of them was too weak. Everyone lives happily in heaven, hell and earth. There is one thing that stayed true throughout the years. Issei never gave up on anyone forever and always. End of the part 2. So how was this story? I hope you like it. And if you like it, share this story with your friends and like the video too. And don't forget to subscribe our channel for daily awesome fanfiction. Okay, it's time for me to go. Bye bye.